Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Jeremy Uncensored. I want to start off with saying sorry, it's been a little while before. Sorry, I had something pop up on my screen there. It's been a little while since I've recorded. There's reasons for that. Coming up on the end of the school year, we're out of school as of last Friday. Coming up on the end of it, we had a couple concerts, had a couple sporting events, closing out. And then I posted on the YouTube channel that I was going to record one the next day. Turned out I woke up the next day with like a upper respiratory deal. I battled that for probably a little over a week. And honestly, I didn't feel like doing anything. I'd go to work, I'd come home, and it was hot shower, medicine, couch, bed. All better and got over it. So decided to hop on tonight. Again, apologies for not having anything out, but want to take care of myself first and get through the last couple weeks of school with the kids and you know testing and all that jazz. So kind of put it on the back burner. If you haven't already, though, head over to YouTube at Jeremy Uncensored. Subscribe if you don't mind. Also, I'm also a part of a sports podcast as well, the 859ers. Also on YouTube. We also got a Facebook page. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever. We had actually took a little break from that as well. We finally got another episode up, and now the summer's here, I'm gonna be more on the ball with some stuff, and hope you're enjoying it. I do this just for fun. I enjoy just getting on and sharing stuff. Talking about topics. Maybe people will get involved with comments. I love the comments. Leave them, and I'll get back to you. I like the interaction on both. Don't get me wrong, on Jeremy Uncensored and 859ers. I like the interaction on both. With that being said, I'm going to talk tonight. I went back and forth on what I wanted to do. Okay. In fact, I do notes, and I wrote notes for 2 episodes. And I was going to do one, or the one I'm going to do tonight, I was going to do first, and then I exited out. I was going to go with this other one. Then I decided, no, I'm going to do this one tonight, and maybe tomorrow record the other one. A lot of the stuff that I talk about is about being a single dad, and I'm raising 2 daughters. And let me tell you, side rant, today was, of all days, finding out that you can tell I'm a girl dad. I'm outside mowing. I tell my oldest daughter to come outside. I wanted her to help. And I've already got the yard weeded. It's done. It's not mowed. But I was getting ready to. She comes out. First thing she says, "Dad, sorry, it took me so long. I was doing my hair." My response was, "Wow, you're coming to do yard work, not a fashion show." But, whatever it is, she picked up like 30 twigs or sticks or something, and then all of a sudden she disappeared back into the house. So, I'll have to solve that problem later. But a lot of the stuff that I do discuss is about being a single dad, maybe dating or, whatever. Tonight, though, it still has to do with parenting, because I've had to have these talks with my kids. And I'm pretty sure that all parents have had these particular talk with their kids of some form or fashion. If they haven't, probably will, depending on the age. Of course, I got a 12 and 13-year-old, both girls, so it's like, there's a lot of things that I got to talk with them and get them prepared for, just because I know possibly what's coming, and then be prepared for what comes that we haven't had that talk with yet, okay? Now, with that being said, tonight I'm going to just touch on opinions. Probably geared more for adults, but yes, kids have to endure this too, just because when you post stuff online and you give your opinion on the matter, you're going to get comments. Some of them agree, some of them disagree, some of them just, a bunch of jackwagons just want to be punks to try to start something. Depending on how you handle it, right, is also depending on how that conversation will go. With that being said, opinions are like, kind of hate saying this, but opinions are like buttholes, man. Everybody's got one. You don't always have to agree with somebody else's opinion. Same goes that they don't always have to agree with yours. That is like the beautiful thing about this, right? If we all agreed on the same thing, I think it would be boring. I really do. I think life would be boring. So when you have disagreements, you can still be respectful about it, right? You can still be nice about it. Some people don't want to do that. Some people, they want that argument, they want that fight. I'm not sure why, but there are some people out there that that's what they live for. I don't know. I hate, maybe they're miserable. And I say that because I hate the expression misery loves company. I don't want to be a company if you're miserable. All right, just because you're miserable, I mean you have to bring everybody else down. Opinions that are shared, they wide variety, right? Everything from music to sports to school stuff, and probably the most, oh man, confrontational, opinionated subject out there is politics. That's just exhausting. Don't get involved in that. That now, I was saying that I'm a pot stirrer when it comes to that because I love watching people get so bent out of shape that I question, like, why are you so mad about it? Like, who cares? Because I don't. I really don't. I could care less what goes on in the political world. That's just me. And there's going to probably be something, or somebody, or some people are going to say, well, you should. It's beyond my control. That's why I don't care. I only worry about what I can control. And with that, unless I'm in political office, I don't care about. Things that are important to me, like sports and stuff, hey, yeah, I like the debate. I mean, that right there, I really do. With sports, a lot of the opinions are on the GOAT conversation. LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Spoiler, it's Michael Jordan. Some people are going to disagree with that, and that's fine. But for me, it's Michael Jordan. It always has been. It always will be. And so the problem is the time that we're living in is when you give an opinion on whatever it may be, you're going to have people that, yes, agree with you, and that's fine and dandy. It's the people that disagree with you. And some of the people who want to be like hateful in their responses to you. And I don't get it. Back when I was growing up, we always like to joke and poke at each other about our favorite teams. I'm from Kentucky, okay? It will always be home to me. Growing up, Kentucky Wildcats, number one, best college basketball program that there is. That's what we would say. You'd have people like Louisville fans come up. No, man, Louisville's the best. Kentucky's trash, Louisville. Okay. Here's the deal. We all poke fun at each other, but at the end of the day, we still liked each other. Like, we still got along. And it could be friends of friends, and we'd all laugh it off, whatever. Nowadays, you can't talk about jack without getting attacked. And I don't get it. I sincerely do not understand it. I tell my kids, though, you don't judge people based off their political beliefs, their religious beliefs, their skin color, whatever the case may be, right? You don't judge people like that. I said, I don't do it. You're not going to do it. You can share your opinions. You can share your beliefs, especially if they open the door for that. Like me, I believe in God. There's plenty of people out there that don't believe in God. And if they share their reasons why, since you opened the door, I'm going to share the reasons why I believe in God. If you don't believe in God, I'm not going to just cast you out and be like, yeah, okay, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't like you. That to me is dumb. Okay, same thing with like politics stuff. I don't care who you vote for. I'm not going to like just send you off and be like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Okay, to me that's arrogantly stupid. My opinion. Feel free to disagree with that. But I tell my kids, if you share an opinion, especially online, and that's where it comes in, because if you share it online, you open the door for a lot of disagreement, right? The thing is I like it when people share it online because it might be something that, I, A, don't know about, B, didn't think about. Prime example, my kids, really love to sing music. Okay, and they were singing songs I'd never heard of, and it was from I think it's a movie. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a movie. It's K-pop, Demon Hunters. I had never seen the movie, actually never even heard of it, right? And I'm not gonna lie, there's probably two, three, maybe four songs on there. They're actually kind of catchy that I don't mind to listen to. Feel free if you want to make fun of me on that. I don't care. But I was actually babysitting a friend of mine's kids, and his kids like to watch the movie. And when we walked in, I think it was my oldest daughter looked at me and was like, "Dad, that's the movie we were talking about, K-pop Demon Hunters." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I am babysitting kids. They like the movie. My kids like this movie. I've never seen it, so I'm going to sit down and watch it. It's a kid animated movie. I want to sit down and watch it." I watched it, and I was like, oh, I can see why everybody likes it so much is because the music is catchy, just like Frozen. Let it go. It get caught on like fire. Boom, right? Moana, I mean, has a lot of catchy songs. I can see why a lot of people like the movies. I like Moana. Don't get me wrong, guys. Moana's a good movie. So after I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, I see why y'all like it, whatever. And I let it go. I'm not going to watch it again. I have no desire, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. And I saw some people posting on Facebook about it, and they wouldn't let their kids watch it. Now, keep in mind, I have 12 and 13-year-old. I didn't see anything wrong with the movie. I didn't see anything to where I thought, I shouldn't let y'all watch this. Some people may look at it and go, well, maybe not a 12 and 13-year-old, but I wouldn't let a 6, 7, or 8-year-old watch it. And that's fine. If you go back and watch one of the episodes I did, I talked about how everybody parents different, right? What some people do with their kids and maybe I wouldn't do, or how they handle their kids if they got in trouble or whatever, maybe I wouldn't do, or they wouldn't do what I would do, whatever the case may be, and that's fine. I personally didn't see anything wrong with it. But I'd seen some people posting on Facebook about it. I didn't get on there and was like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all crazy. There's nothing wrong with this movie. It's a kid animation movie. Like, what do you mean? Is it because it has the word demon in it? I didn't do that. I let it go. I let it be. I'm like, okay, well, maybe they see something that I don't. And to be honest with you, I didn't take the time out to just sit down and pop some popcorn and watch this movie again. I personally watched it that one time, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. But I also saw where people had posted where they wouldn't let their kids watch it, and I saw people comment. I did see people make those comments like, why are you dissing this movie? And I don't think it was a diss. I think it was, hey, I just won't let my kid watch it, right? 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to let your 6 and 7-year-old watch Deadpool. I totally agree with that. I rightfully so. So it wasn't a diss. It was just like, hey, this is just what why we wouldn't let our kids watch it, and that's perfectly fine. But my question is, and excuse the train side rant, I hate train. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. But that's beside the point. Maybe I'll do another episode on that. Okay, that's just something different that really irks me. We'll get into that another episode. But getting back, bottom line is everybody has their opinions on different things. It doesn't make them right. It doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make them an evil individual. I mean, let's get real here, people. All right, we're all different, and that's the great thing. I always say it's the beautiful thing. I tell my kids, if we were all created like the exact same way, man, it would be boring to walk around here. With that being said, you're going to have, they call trolls, I get, and I don't mean the ones that live under the bridge. Probably some of them should. I tell my kids this too, I say they're just people that live in their grandma's basement, eating up all of her Cheetos, probably texting her to bring them another Orange Crush because, Grandma, I'm about to leave a comment on somebody. It's about to level me up. Who cares? Okay, no. You can overlook it, right? I've overlooked a lot. On social media, it's a little easier to do because you can just hit the block button, right? You don't have to worry about it. They're done, and it's just people trying to start something for whatever reason. Now, for me, like real life, I can just cut you out, all right? I don't cut people out just because they disagree with me on stuff. If you're albeit, if you're lying, if you're like a scammer, backstabber, whatever that, you cut out. I got a very small circle of friends, and that is for a reason. That is on purpose for a reason, right? It's people I know I can trust. It's people I know I can vent to, and it's not going to get out in the world. Look, I live in a small town. Okay, it doesn't take much for stuff to start, and man, it spreads like wildfire. I'm here to tell you. In fact, I think it was my oldest daughter. She was going in sixth grade. Apparently, people thought I was dating this woman just because we walked into orientation at the same time. I didn't even know who she was, but apparently, some people thought that I was possibly dating her, and I wasn't. But that's how quick it could get going. It was actually funny, I ain't gonna lie, because then I got a phone call about it, and then I told them to tell everybody that I had a cheeseburger that night, since everybody wants to know what I was up to. And and that was fun, because the person who called me, they laughed about it, I laughed about it. It was all fun and games, right? Some people though, they get, man, really bent out of shape, and they, like, almost to the point they lose sleep, and they get upset and get mad. My thing is this: if somebody leaves you a comment on something that you typed out, a concern that you may have, whether it's a movie, whether it's you're talking about coaches, whether it's something from school, like a school play or whatever it may be, it's okay to express your concerns. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if you keep it respectful, right? And for those that want to go the route of, well, I can't believe that they're talking about this, or this, that, and the other. I'm going to get mad, and all these other people are going to get mad. Why are you getting mad? Like, seriously, that's a question I pose. Why do people get so mad? Why do people think that if I disagree with you, I'm going to regret this, I know it. But if I disagree with you politically, why are you getting mad? Why do you get angry? You're not accomplishing anything by trying to disrespect people. I'm not going to accomplish anything if I'm going to disrespect you. In fact, I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who you support. I care less. I'm not going to lose sleep at night knowing who you voted for or who you support. I don't care. I don't base my relationships and friendships off who you support. I don't care. That's not how I do. That's not how I handle my life. That's not what I do. I teach my kids, don't do that. You're going to have people tell you to do that, and I don't know why. Don't listen to them. It's beyond crazy, in my opinion, on that particular subject. Okay? I mean, there's people. Look, I do the sports podcast. There's a guy that lives in Kentucky. I've seen some of his stuff. I would love to talk with him, or debate him, I should say, one-on-one about Kentucky basketball. I don't hate the guy. I like his videos. I just like to talk to him and go toe-to-toe with him. He claims, he's a big Kentucky fan. I'm a huge Kentucky fan, diehard. Been a Kentucky fan for all my life. He says he's one too. I would love to just debate stats and stuff with him on that. And respectful. Like, be respectful. I think that's key. And I think that's what we need to get back to in life. I think we need to get back to the point of we can agree to disagree and still like each other. Like back in the day, or like even now. If you agree to disagree, whatever the case may be, just disagree. Then go have a drink, play darts, shoot pool, whatever. This whole, though, getting on here and, attacking people and attacking each other, I question it. What are you looking to accomplish by that? If you shared your opinion on something and I said you're pathetic or you're dumb, what am I accomplishing? If I share my opinion on something, you just want to you want to attack. What are you accomplishing? Questions rhetorical. You can leave your answer in the comments if you want, or just think about, like, yeah, what I like to do, thinking like that. Even when I'm out driving, sometimes I turn off the radio, especially if I'm by myself, and I think about stuff like that. It may not be the best of ideas when I'm alone. I start thinking by myself, because I'm like, wow, I can come up with some good stuff to, maybe to talk about. Maybe it makes people mad. I don't know. But my thing is this: we need to get back to a time where you could agree to disagree and still be cool with it. The hate has got to stop. And no, you can't depend on a movie actor, a musician, a sports athlete, a politician. You can't depend on them to make it stop. We have to do that. I know a lot of people are going to say, no, we can't turn down the temperature. Yeah, you can. You wouldn't believe the power that you have of turning down the temperature. I don't understand why, if you disagree with somebody, if they post, especially if they post something on Facebook about a movie, about a song, whatever, why you feel like, you got to crack your knuckles and start an argument that neither one of you are going to win. Not even go as far as saying nobody's going to win or lose, except 9 times out of 10 somebody's going to walk away just kind of upset, or they're going to talk about, I can't believe this person reacted this way. Again, food for thought. And my thing is if you have kids, it's hard to sit there and try to tell your kids not to react a certain way when they witness you react that way. The one thing I always loved was sports, music, things like that. I felt like were kind of untouchable. You either like Dr. Dre or you don't. You either like Taylor Swift or you don't. But nowadays, if you say, okay, like me, let's just go ahead and say this. I don't like Taylor Swift. I like some of her old music. Don't get me wrong. I like some of her old stuff. I don't own a CD. I don't have any of her songs on my Spotify list. There's just some old stuff that, is catchy. I liked. But I don't like her music like now overall. And I've actually had some people like, dude, you got 2 daughters, and they're going to hear you say you don't like Taylor Swift. How dare you? How dare I what? Because I don't like a musician? Newsflash. My kids don't like Taylor Swift, and it has nothing to do with Big Daddy here. It has everything to do with they just don't like her music. They don't even like her old stuff. And saying, here I am saying I like some of her old stuff. They don't like Taylor Swift. I'm not going to make them like Taylor Swift because she's a female singer. No more than I'm going to make them like Dr. Dre. I grew up listening to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and those guys. That's music that I like. There's a lot of country music that I like. There's a lot of 80s rock, because I think 80s rock was the best at that time music that there was. 90s music. They just don't do it anymore. Modern music. I tell my kids, modern music. I'm not an Ariana Grande fan. I'm like, who listens to this stuff? My daughters do. I'm not going to make them stop listening to her because I don't like her. They understand I don't like her. Oh well. It's okay not to like a musician or a sports team or a sports athlete. But it's slowly now dipping into that to where it's like, if you don't like them, you're like sexist, or whatever the case may be. Now that's bullcrap. I'm a music. I love music. I turn it on when I clean. I turn it on when I'm doing the dishes. I may turn it on when I'm cooking. Music, and I like sports, and it doesn't mean that I have to like everything you like. Doesn't mean you have to like everything I like. There's going to probably be some people say, nah, you know what? I never was a fan of Dr. Dre and Eminem. Stupid trait. Anyway, of Dre and Eminem. That's okay. And that's perfectly fine. But we've slowly dipped into this whole thing now where people say, well, you got to have an open mind about all this stuff. If you don't like the music, you don't like the music. If you don't like a football team, you don't like a football team. A lot of people say that they're Kansas City Chiefs fans. No, you're bandwagon fans, and don't even try to deny it. You probably couldn't name 5 other Kansas City Chief football players outside of Mahomes and Kelsey, modern time, not from the past. And now all of a sudden, because they were winning a lot, you thought you wanted to be on the bandwagon, right? Look, I'm not a Chiefs fan. Oh well. I'm not a Broncos fan. I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan. I wear their hats. I got their gear. Good, bad, and the ugly. It doesn't mean that everybody has to be like, oh, you gotta like Cincinnati. And if you like Kansas City, that's fine. If you like New England Patriots, that's fine. If you like the Buffalo Bills, that's fine. But slowly letting people dip in to this. Oh, well, if you don't like this, that, and the other when it comes to sports or music, then you're closed minded or you're, whatever the case may be. And I don't agree with that at all. I really don't. Um, so I'll touch on this. One of the big debates. And I fought myself throughout deciding if I wanted to talk about this. When it came to music, especially when it comes to music and sporting events, one of the last big, um, I'll say, arguments that I saw, and it had to do with music and sports, was a Super Bowl halftime show. And, yeah, I know you got your input too, but get down. The Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny, and then of course they had the other. Forgive me, I think it was the Turning Point USA one. Forgive me if I'm wrong because I I think it's what it was. It had Kid Rock and a few other ones. I'd seen people post on Facebook that they did not watch the Bad Bunny performance, but they watched the other one. So then I saw people that one that intrigued me because I actually was reading the comments, and you could see people have like 30 comments on their thread, and like 24 of them actually made sense. Or no, let me rephrase that: 6 of them made sense. The other 24 were just wanting to argue. A lot of people dissed individuals or families, whatever, if you didn't watch the Bad Bunny performance. Why? Honest question, why? At the same time, some people would bash other people or question why they didn't, watch the one with Kid Rock. Why? A lot of people probably couldn't tell you 4 things about Bad Bunny, but they claim that they're his biggest fans. They probably didn't even know that he wrestled in WWE for several matches, which is fine. I knew that. Now, here's what I'll say. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I love music. There's a lot of musicians that I don't like. There's a lot of musicians I don't listen to his music. I did not watch the Super Bowl halftime show. However, because me saying that, automatically everybody's going to be like, oh, he watched the other one. Nope. I'm going to be real with you. I didn't watch the other one. I did what I normally do through the Super Bowl halftime show. I cleaned from cooking food. The last Super Bowl halftime show I watched, and which I think was the best one, at least in my lifetime, that I've got to watch. The last one that I watched was when Dre and Snoop and 50 and all those guys were there. That took me back to my growing up music that I listened to. As the last Super Bowl halftime show that I watched. Why? Because I was excited about it. I really was. I think there was a lot of people excited about it. But I didn't understand all the hate. If you didn't watch, or whatever, however people wanted to word it, like if you didn't watch the Bad Bunny one, it was like you're a closed-minded racist, whatever. I don't believe that. If you watch the Kid Rock one, you were racist. If you watch the Bad Bunny and didn't watch the Kid Rock one, you're an anti-American. I don't. A lot of the stuff that I saw in there, I was like, man, whatever. I didn't comment on it. I just disagreed with it because I don't agree. I don't think that labeling people like that. I mean, that's dumb. I don't know why people do that, but people do, and if that makes them happy, I guess have at it. But I didn't understand it. I don't think that if you did not watch Bad Bunny, I don't think that you were a racist, closed-minded individual. I don't think if you watched Bad Bunny and you liked the performance and all that, I don't think you're some anti-American person. No, I don't think that at all. That's just what everybody wants you to do because they want that anger, they want that hate, they want that temperature being as high as they can get it, and pawns is really the word I'm looking for in a game of chess that I don't even want to be involved in. But again, I think we need to get back to, I can agree with you or I can disagree with you and everything's fine. Like I said, that's what I tell my kids. Tell me what you think. Quit getting worked up. Quit going to, like, quit getting so upset because somebody disagrees with you. Quit getting upset because somebody voices a concern about something. Right now, there's a lot of concern with the data centers. All right? There's a lot. Excuse me. Okay? I mean, a lot. I'm not a fan of AI. Okay? I'm not. I've never once used ChatGPT. I don't think I've ever, like, I'm not a fan of AI. I'm just not. I'm not a fan of all the data centers being thrown up across, I mean, at least in the United States, right? Because they're going up like hotcakes. I'm not a fan of it. However, I'm not going to sit here and diss people and hate on people if you own farmland and you sell that land for a data center to go up. I'm not going to hate on that at all. I think if I own farmland and they came to me and said, hey, you're set for life, your kids are set for life, your grandkids are going to be set for life, I think I'm actually going to, like, I think I'm actually going to do it. Like, I would sell them my land and be like, all right, here you go. Because it's my land, it's my business, nobody else's. The whole hate on people, here's freaking thing I hate the most. I'm going to threaten you. Really? You're going to threaten? What are you accomplishing? You're not accomplishing anything. In fact, you're just showing how uneducated, dumb you are. Let's just go with that. And you don't have to be a fan of it. There's a lot of people out there that are a fan of AI. I personally am not. Okay, and again, I'm not hating on anybody who is. If that's if that's your cup of tea, hey, drink it, have fun. I'm just personally, that's not me. Again, I get some hateful comments like, "Oh, you should be." I don't know, but that's not going to change my mind. And I'm not here to change your mind on that topic. But that is a topic that's going around a lot here as of late, and it's gaining a lot of steam, and there's a lot of agreements and a lot of disagreements and things like that. So in the end, I just feel like we need to get back, again, I'm going to reiterate this, get back to we can agree to disagree and still get along. It's not hard. Really, it's not hard at all. If I don't like somebody, there's a reason. It has nothing to do with their beliefs, whether it's religious, political, whatever. It's just I don't have nothing for you. There's a reason behind that. In fact, my ex-wife one time asked me, she was like, how do you do that? Like, how do you just cut people out? And you make it look so easy. Well, I could teach you, I guess, but it's just one of those deals that if you lie on me or you try to label me something that I'm not and all this, that, and the other, I'm done with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I think in the end, people just need to quit getting so worked up about certain topics and do all the hate. Because in the end, they don't pay your bills. They don't put clothes on your back. They don't mow your yard. They don't, whatever, they don't go to work for you, whatever the case may be. In the end, man, just gotta get back to it. On a great note, look at Pizza Hut. Just the other day, somebody and I were talking about, man, how you used to go to Pizza Hut. Yeah, they had the buffet. You got some good food. If you read a book, you got a personal pan pizza. They had video games. And dude, this guy now is like, I think there's going to be 80 of them. Going back, I love that. See, I love reading stuff like that. And that's what we need to get back to. We need to get back to that 90s feel. I really and truly believe that. 90s was such a great era. Prove me wrong is all I'm going to ask you to do. Prove me wrong that the 90s wasn't a great era. I love the 90s. And that's what we need. No, not just because I want to be young again. Okay, no, I'm just saying the 90s was a great time. That's what we need to get back to. Hit the pause button on your social media. And yes, I understand. I'm telling you this while I'm filming on social media. But what I'm saying is just hit the pause button. Take a break from your news. Take a break from, being hateful to people. Just sit back. Go enjoy life. Go have fun. If you have kids, go have fun with your kids. Take a walk. Enjoy, like right here, man. We got some beautiful weather. I think we're supposed to get some rain. We got some beautiful weather. Go enjoy it. You don't have to be a hateful brown stain. I'm trying to be nice, okay? I try to keep it PG. I'm going to end it. I hope everybody has a great and safe summer. If you're not out of school yet, bless you. Maybe you're winding it down. Everybody have a great and safe summer. If you, like I said, if you haven't already, jump over on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I think I'm going to record an episode again tomorrow, and I'll go ahead and tell you what it's about. My oldest daughter and I finally had the talk on dating. She actually brought it up to me, and I'm going to go into the conversation that we have, or that we had, and the conversation that we are going to have. So tune into that. Again, appreciate your support, appreciate the comments. Again, let's end it with a question of, why do people get so mad when you disagree with them? Why do we have to have so much hate? Leave a comment, and I'll get back to it when I see it. Again, God bless everybody. I hope you all have a great summer. In that, I hope everybody has it's Wednesday. I hope everybody has a great week. Rest of your week, a safe week, and whatever it is that you do. Bye.